when you have fitness enthusiasts and coaches tell you you have to eat 1.6 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight, it's not because this is what you need to build muscle, is is how you can optimize your journey of building muscle.
Hi,
Hello, Tekla, how you doing? Is that your
I'm good,
name?
Ava. Yeah, that's my name. If you speak Spanish, it means a keyboard or something. I was told. I don't know.
Tekla, well, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I didn't connect that. So where are you
Yeah, that's
calling
how.
from?
I'm calling from New York City.
All right, all right. How is the vegan movement going in New York?
Well, I recently joined you guys. I was a pescatarian for almost like 2 years, and I actually had no idea about dairy industry at all. And I was speaking to my friend, like talking about some um, veganism, I guess. And that was the first time I was told about the industry, which like nobody around is vegan. You're the first vegan person I'm talking to
Oh,
be
really?
honest. I mean,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
restaurants, like obviously, and now I go to like vegan places, but yeah, I think if there's like even the algorithm, like once I was like researching things about dairy industry, that's when like let's say IG and YouTube started showing me things that were like you, right? Like I would never get content from someone like you because it would only be like beauty or whatever people get usually. So yeah, now I'm like I hate myself for being non-vegan for I don't know what 24 years, and I want to do my best to also, awareness and also have, I guess, more knowledge. I guess the purpose of this call
All right, sounds
is
good.
get more, information from someone who's like, I guess, a role model in the fitness industry.
Love it,
So
love it. Thank you, and glad that you opened your eyes and you became vegan. So yeah, so on this call, I just want to help you cover some of your kind of doubts as you're a new vegan. Probably you have about nutrition and give you some tips. About
yeah,
if you have some specific fitness goals. So the way we should
yes,
be.
I have a specific. I'm sorry to interrupt. I actually have a specific, I guess, scenario. I want to say. Well, I work out every day. It's just that I have amazing amount of energy. Like I've never had so much energy in my life. I guess it's the carbs that I'm eating, but at the same time, I always feel hungry. That's, that is my biggest kind of issue right now, and I wanted to consult with you, and hopefully you have some answers for that.
You always feel hungry. Is that something new, or that is something that's part of you to be someone who's always hungry?
No, no, no. I was never like that. So what? Since I became vegan, so at first I was trying to, follow the calorie intake and to make sure, I don't gain weight. And it's been really hard to keep track. So now I just basically eat whenever I'm hungry. Like every 3 hours, I'm needing food, which is like so annoying, but also uh, it reflects on my weight also. So that's something that I guess. And I did my research. It's not like, this is the first time I'm speaking to you. Like I, even followed like a specific diet, but I guess for someone who is, like if you're working out, obviously you need energy and you need more energy versus when you don't work out. So maybe
Definitely.
that's why my case is a little bit different.
Were you as active as well before going vegan?
Um, Maybe more active
Uh-huh.
now because I have more energy. Like I actually work out longer than I used to, which is amazing. Like I honestly feel the difference, like of how much more energy I have, and it's great. But maybe like that's where food craving comes from. I don't know.
Yeah, I understand. Like this is something that have navigated myself because I'm a person that is always hungry always hungry as well. And I did made to myself the same questions. Is it something about eating more plants that's like makes you more hungry or less full or less satiated? But then I realized that for me, in my case, I've always been like that. I've always been someone that likes to eat all the time. So I don't know if there is something specific that like I'm not like some people, for example, says that eating more protein makes you feel you more satiated. Like I haven't seen that to be the case for me. Like it never changed much to eat more protein, or when I was eating animal products, I was always snacking on my bread in the kitchen every 20 minutes.
Yeah, bread is like the
Um,
biggest issue.
yes, but as you said, what's important for you is not gaining that extra weight, right? And what helped me the most is eating more fruit compared to, I don't know, snacking on in peanut butter and sandwich, for example, right? So peanut butter and sandwich might be 250 calories. I'd rather have three apples, right? And that's like three snacks I can have, right? And that's more food and allows me to stay within the calories. What do you snack? When you're hungry, what do you eat?
So I think carb is kind of my, I obviously try to like at during the dinner time have like beans and rice and sometimes tofu. Make sure I take the protein. But in the mornings, I have like avocado toast or could be like a peanut butter sandwich. And I'm always like conscious about like the protein part. I know you had some like really interesting ideas about protein in general, and I wanted to ask you from like a different perspective. Like, is 50 milligrams like the my I guess required intake of protein? I'm 20 in kilograms. Do you count in kilograms? I can tell you my
Yeah,
weight. Like 57 right now.
you're 57
And
kilograms. Okay. So
and
you tell me.
yeah, so I'm 57. I am probably overweight in my opinion, like 4 5 kilograms maybe. And that's pretty much it. So like when we my husband and I speak, he's also into very much into nutrition, and he's that's a separate conversation we're gonna have. But that was actually the reason why I actually wanted to talk to you, because he has this like uh, stereotypical views about veganism, which we watched like Game Changers. We like so many things that I've practiced to kind of like have him look at the subject a little bit more open-minded. And he does. He actually started eating, you know, plant-based diet a lot more now. But he did that because of me. Like he didn't do it because he wanted to do it, which is so sad. And I think the main reason why he doesn't want to consider to fully commit to veganism is because he has this idea that he can build muscle, like, or he can maintain his muscle.
Makes sense.
And he says, "Oh, I have to take 200 milligrams of protein every day, and it's impossible with plant-based diet." And he, when I show him like people like you, he's like, they're probably doing steroids or things like that, and and I don't have like much knowledge to like tell him whatever, but I think your example, like um you know speaking to you like live this way, like I think you're gonna have some advice for me to maybe tell him, and maybe there's something you can recommend that I can show him that can change his view on this.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start from me taking steroids. I don't, and but I think I understand if he's he's American as well.
No, he's we're from Georgia, the country,
Mhm.
Eastern Europe. but we live in New York for
Okay,
yeah.
but anyway, I know that in the US, like the steroids community, it's very big. Like it
Yes,
seems it seems like to be much more accepted. Even people that don't look as good and they're still using steroids. So, but no, I don't take steroids. And the other thing I wanted to touch on is you like being you think that you're a little bit overweight. I just wanted to make sure that you know that for a woman, it's not the same as a man. Like being shredded for a woman is not good. Actually, being that having that little bit of softness for a woman is usually healthier. But there are some women that are fine with the six pack. But like usually, like having defined abdomen is not the healthiest for women, right? It's better to stay like 20% body fat and have a little bit of that softness, let's say. Okay, so I wanted to.
I have less than 20%, but I want to get like more shredded. So that's, I guess, a separate thing that I have to research now.
Yeah, you don't wanna, like unless you said you're very active, like for example, an endurance athlete might be
No.
fine, might be fine being very low in body fat, but just because it's super active. But in general, because fat, both for men and women, are very important for the regulation of hormones, right? And but what happens in women if the hormones are not well regulated, then you start losing your period, and that's not good, right? So careful with wanting to be too like shredded, and listen to your body. Very important. Um, for the protein, so you say you weigh 57 kilograms. So here's the thing with the protein narrative. So we, what science and the fitness industry actually has been honest and clear. It's people that take it the wrong way. So when you have fitness enthusiasts and coaches tell you have to eat 1.6 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight, is not because this is what you need to build muscle, is how you can optimize your journey of building muscle. Okay, no one never. I mean, people say that, but actually, science never said that you cannot build muscle eating zero point 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. So no one ever said that. But the thing is that the fitness industry has been pushing this high number, 1.6, 2 grams or more. But the reality is that to build muscle, you need to get stronger. Your muscle, your body will respond to how you train. And in case of building muscle, the goal should be, increasing the weight that you're lifting, increasing the amount of repetition sets, and staying within a working volume that makes sense for strength and muscle building, which is 10 plus sets per week per muscle group, and um, and staying within the 6 to 12, 15 repetition rep range. So if you organize a workout training plan that makes sense around these factors and you progress over time, so you increase the reps, the weight, the sets, that's what's really important to build muscle. I was actually talking with my clients yesterday. He just started and he was worried about protein. I think I should increasing my protein because I thought we were losing fat first and then building muscle. I said, man, the reason why you're not building muscle is because you cannot do pull-ups yet. If you get stronger and you build your way up to be able to do like 5, 7, 10 pull-ups, the process of getting there is going to build your muscle. It doesn't matter if you eat less or more protein, you're going to build muscle. Now, if you said you want me to suggest a video to watch, and there is Hench Herbivore. Have you already heard about this guy? You know, it's called Hench Herbivore. He's a vegan nutritionist. And he actually just uploaded an interview with a doctor talking about protein. And I finally, listened to actually something that made a lot of sense and really supported my idea that protein is not that important and that the fitness industry has been pushing these high numbers unnecessarily, which is These benefits that you would get from eating, 1.6 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight instead of zero point 0.8, which is the daily recommendation to be a healthy individual, right, is 8%. 8% is nothing really, right?
Yeah,
It's not that important. It doesn't
for
change much.
yeah, yeah.
It doesn't change much. Let's say you build 7 kilogram, 5 kilogram of muscle in 1 year, your first year. That means that, it's like an extra half kilogram that you build, which, it doesn't have to be non-relevant. But what I'm saying is you're still building the 5 kilogram of muscle with or without the highest intake of protein, right? So here's the answer, and my kind of concept around protein. And for you, like if you, I always suggest to eat a little bit more anyway, because why not optimizing things a little bit?
Well,
So
my goal was actually to be shredded. So
yeah.
I myself, I'm in the beauty industry, so it's very that I am slim. So I think that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to like kind of bring up the subject. But I actually don't have a problem like carrying like extra 4 or 5 kilograms. Like I think it's you also feel good and your body's not stressed. But because I'm kind of dependent on it, it becomes like an issue. Way.
hmm I'm sure you look beautiful, Lynn. Actually, I think I did check your Instagram. You look good. Shredded, not necessary,
So
not necessary.
thank you.
But
Uh,
yes, I think for you, just to answer the question, like fix 70 grams of protein, 70, 80 grams of protein is great per day.
okay. Okay, so and to be completely honest, I don't even think that uh, even with a conversation of taking the protein, enough protein to build the muscle, I honestly don't think it's worth animal suffering for your beautiful muscle. Like as long as you're strong and healthy, you don't necessarily have to be like big and like building weight. As long as you're healthy, which can be muscly and even slim person, right? So I don't even want to like um, kind of emphasize, like my husband thinks differently. He thinks that his health is, I guess, how strong he is his priority basically. And I told him like even if you lose some muscle, like maybe like 10-20%, right, going plant based, what's the problem, and I think the movie that you recommended is it a movie?
No, no, what I recommend is just an interview. Hench Herbivore,
Okay,
and is an interview with
okay.
the doctor. Yeah.
I think that's going to change his perspective because the way you explained to me, I think it's very interesting and definitely different from what I've heard about protein. And just the same way we hear about meats, right? Like I think when with the Game Changers, they said that smoking cigarettes was advertised by Apple, and it was like made as a good thing. And I think the same way, I think meat is, I mean, meat is good, of course, right? If you eat meat and you get so much energy, protein, you don't have to worry about your diet as much as you have to worry about when you're vegan. Uh, and of course, it has its own, downsides also. But I think you just have to be like really open-minded to look at the subject from my perspective. It's extremely hard, and I don't even know how I managed to do this. I never in my life considered becoming vegan. I've
hmm
met so many vegans, before actually learning about veganism, and I would just never even bother just finding out what
So,
veganism was about.
okay. So you never watched, like kind of slaughterhouse
No,
footage. Yeah.
never in my life. And I know there is this movie. I still haven't watched it, called um, Dominion. I'm not sure if
Or
that's the name. And I always avoided it. I never wanted to watch it. The classic non-vegan, you're always trying to avoid vegan conversations. And when you post these reels about, I think the last, I think how I got this meeting with you was so relatable for me because all of my conversations now with my family, now with my husband, it's being so around veganism now, and just like me, having like factual, conversations, and them having this like a stereotypical like traditional view, like humans always ate meat, just like really nonsense type of things, and we always get
Yeah,
to a point where like,
like it's difficult. Like the suggestion I can make, try not to get too sad, right, about their position that they take, which is obviously sad that they ignore animal suffering. But at the same time, when you do get in these conversations, trying to always get to the point, like, like, are you happy that animals are suffering? If you can be specific, because this is what happens, like same things that happened with you. You were kind of ignoring the truth, but then when the truth hit you, then you changed. And this is kind of the same that happened to people. They're disconnected. They're lying to themselves and distracting themselves to the horrors that are actually happening, and that the fact that it's wrong to abuse animals. So if you can bring them back during the conversation, like, oh, cheese on pasta is so good. Yeah, do you think it's also good to take away a baby from a mom cow and bring this baby to a slaughterhouse so they can cut their throat? Like, if you do this kind of answer, people go back to reality often. But at the
yeah,
same time, like, don't get upset if they don't go vegan because that's what
can I
usually happens.
say, my mom, let's say, right? She, when we first had the conversation, she like agreed with me. She was like, "Yeah, like I think it's wrong to eat meat, this and that." Had amazing conversation. I literally felt so, not alone. And then next day, she's buying milk and she's buying dairy, and I'm like, "What did we talk about?" Um, yeah, I think it's and something that I also wanted to ask, since
Go
I
on.
so kind of um, with your heart, and I really admire your work that you do. I think it's very, very important for you guys to, continue to, put your message out there, because trust me, I wouldn't become vegan if none of those videos and none of those, like PETA and like so many eye-opening videos. So I'm a content creator, of course, and I work with brands that are not animal cruelty free. And not only that, I actually was considering even working for, marketing basically. So it is so hard um, to kind of grow career wise being vegan. What is your thought about that?
Well,
You're solo, you're not really affected by it, but you probably have like people around you that, work and, have their careers, and, like working for a company that, let's say, sells leather, like things like that. I think I have my own perspective on this, but I just wanted to hear from someone who's very like devoted to this industry from you, like what your thoughts are.
so so first of all, like at the beginning when I went vegan, I was pretty much super focused on veganism, meaning that I would expect the world to go vegan very soon. Like, especially when I started activism, I was like, like, this is so straightforward. I mean, if I can share this to people, have them make the connection, make them understand that animals are individuals, like, people will go vegan. But then, within the years, I saw that things are not going as fast as I would expect. So I kind of, accepted more the fact that we live in a non-vegan world. Let's say I made more peace with it, right? Um, when it comes to working, for me, even when I was a bartender, I wasn't very happy to be in a place where there was animal products going in and out of the kitchen. It would annoy me. and my desire was moving away from it. So if I believe that for vegans, for people that have made this connection and they really care about animals, and they make living in a non-vegan world make you feel bad, I would say that the best thing that you can do is making as many steps as possible to create a vegan environment in your life, whether it's friends, your work, whatever you can do, right? Like, for example, for me, the reason why I work only with vegans is not really because I don't want to work with non-vegans. It's just because I'm an animal rights first. I'm an animal rights activist first. So, if I have a conversation with someone, I will ask them if they're vegan or not. And if they're not vegan, we'll have a conversation about veganism. And if they are smart, they'll go vegan. If they are the usual, apathetic people or selfish that don't want to go vegan, then we're probably start going to have some kind of an argument and debate. So that's why we don't then create a business relationship with this person. It's just because I value the conversation about animal rights first. But yeah, so I think obviously it might be stupid trying to isolate yourself from the world and like I don't know, quit your job because you don't want to be around non-vegans. But at the same time, I think it would be good for you to try and veganize your life, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Especially in the luxury beauty area, like everything is non-vegan, which is insane to me, even to this day. Like for a beauty company to still test on animals, because there's so many other, new brands, amazing brands that don't test on animals, but the traditional luxury beauty brands still do. And um, when I first became vegan, I said that I wouldn't, work with brands that tested on animals. And unfortunately, I've come to a realization that brands that are there for me to offer partnerships are only the animal testing companies. Um, and it's almost like of course it's non-genuine. Like I don't use it. I don't buy products personally, but when it becomes like a work where you have to advertise something, then I have to like shift my mindset and kind of be like, this is for growth, and it's very hard.
Yeah, but
And the thing,
I think is an important thing to do, and you said it before, talking about your boyfriend, thinking that building muscle is not as important as saving some animal lives, and I think the same the same concept should apply here. Making business and growing personally is not as important as
I agree.
cosmetic tested on animals. So I say that you could absolutely smash it. I think if you actually make your brand around cruelty free
Of
cosmetics,
course, yeah, of
yeah, that
course.
would be
And
a
I have
very interesting
yeah,
niche.
cruelty-free brands too. Like my mission is to work with mainly with cruelty-free brands, but and all the PRs. Like I, don't use any products that are cruelty. And it's the same thing. If like sunscreen, let's say, has is animal tested, like it's the same as eating meat to me. So, um, but like when you do that for work, and then when you do that on your own time, it's kind of like where's that line? Like let's say when you work for a company that I used to work for a company that made things for leather, from leather, and of course like that's different because you're not directly like involved into like making the leather clothing. You're working, let's say, in marketing, um but then, like, where's that line that kind of separates what's direct and what's indirect? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say you go to a restaurant and you order vegan food, but the restaurant is known for steak and, like, very
Mm.
meats, focused things. Like it's as a and this is like I'm new to this journey, of course, but I'm struggling with kind of drawing that line of what's my like morality in this conversation, where like I say this is work and it's okay to do this for now, and then this is my personal thing, I don't know if
I,
it
th-
makes sense.
I think, I'll leave, keep it personal, keep it a personal journey, right? So you have vegans that would never enter Burger King, for example. I don't care about going and buy the plant-based burger in Burger King, and it's fine, I don't think there is a right or wrong, right? So this is also about your personal journey. But hey, Tekla, time's up. Hope this was full of value. Okay.
Thank you so much. This was, and can you remind me the name of the interview once more?
Yeah, I'm going to send you the link of the video straight away after the call. Okay.
Thank you so much. And I know you do these, conversations, and I would love to, if in the future for you and my husband to have a conversation. And I think him speaking to a real person with, especially with so much passion, I think it's gonna definitely kind of help him with kind of understanding things differently. So I think that would be really cool. Of course, available.
Yeah, of course. Let's do it. Like, talk with him if you wanna get on a call and he has questions. Let's do it.
Well, that's the thing. He doesn't really have questions. It's me having questions. He's very comfortable. And he's not comfortable. I'm lying. I don't want to
Did
say
you?
that.
Here's the last thing. Yeah, did you watch actually documentary with him about animals and stuff?
Well, the game changers is not necessarily around like animal
Yeah,
suffering.
absolutely. You need to look.
And when I send him the animal suffering videos, he always has this like reaction of like that's so sad, and he stopped buying eggs. And for person that's like focused on the body, it's a huge thing. And also eating beans and all the plant-based things now, but it's still not there. Like it's not my perspective, and I want that to change. So, and
Yeah.
I'm
So
sure like it's
you should watch Dominion together. That's it. Saturday night movie, Dominion.
well,
Not the best
that's been
movie
on
to watch, but yeah.
my plan for a very long time, and trust me, I've made my efforts. But because we know what we're gonna watch, it's kind of a, even for non-vegan, it's you know uh, like I used to have like nightmares of like animal suffering. Like
Hmm.
it's very hard. I've made my choice. I'm never ever eating meat or meat animal products, but I know I have to do it for my husband. So, but yeah, like you would be more like a scientific live person speaking from a live experience, which I really would appreciate, versus the emotional part, which obviously that's my part. Thank you again. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Nice to talk with you, Tekla. Have a good day.
Thank you too.